Welcome back to my channel, everybody. This is Mr. Tech. You can call me Jade, and I'm a former, ex-teacher now working in tech. Welcome back to day 7 of our 30 days challenge, getting ready for the uh, Security Plus exam. And today, we're gonna take a little break and not talk about like the domain and all the fun stuff. We're just gonna check some important information about jobs. So how you can get a tech job remotely. Voy a hacer esto en ambos idiomas para aquellos que están ahí que hablan español también y inglés también. Entonces, um, hay dos cosas importantes en esto. Primero, posicionarse a usted como un candidato ideal para trabajar en el sector privado. La razón por qué hablo mucho del sector privado es porque hay muchas oportunidades y no, o sea, no todos están preparados para ello. Por ejemplo, si usted tiene like, una licenciatura en cybersecurity, well, no cybersecurity, but like computer science, por ejemplo. Entonces, um, pero no tienes, por ejemplo, la certificación de Security Plus, like the A Plus, Networking Plus, which are the 3-1, que son muy comunes para entrar en posiciones así. Va a ser muy difícil poder entonces estar arriba de la pila, ¿verdad? Para poder entrar. Entonces, por ejemplo, en mi caso, teniendo una licenciatura en educación y una maestría en enseñanzas, en ESL y todo eso, no me favorece para nada entonces, porque es un campo totalmente diferente. Ahora bien, si usted tiene una licenciatura en cualquier cosa, como un bachelor's degree o un master, ellos ven esto como una forma de que si eres capaz de poder aprender rápido y estudiar. Entonces, te van a recomendar en los primeros 90 días de estar ya con un contrato de trabajo, tener lo que se llama Security Plus. Entonces, el Security Plus te va a enseñar todo lo que necesites para poder entrar en el campo de System Administration, Cybersecurity, and Cloud Security too, o Infrastructure too as well. So, esos son las tres, qué sé yo, bueno, puedo decir que son los tres um, bueno, más carreras que es donde hay más auge ahorita. Si van a la internet y hacen una búsqueda rápido, van a darse cuenta que hay poca demanda, pero o sea, hay muchas personas que no, o sea, no califican por no tener la certificación. Entonces, hey, Santa, thank you for the follow. Really appreciate it. I'll follow you back. Welcome to our community. And by the way, in the next 30 minutes or so, because I'm gonna have a Q&A here after I have a PowerPoint presentation that I'm going off like talking about this. We're gonna have a karaoke. Yes, we're gonna be singing, guys. So if you are, I don't know, one of the introvert, extrovert, whatever it is, you can stay. We'll talk about the purpose of life and have a conversation about certain things and keep it like super general, no judgment. Uh, just have a little fun. Since it's Friday today, we're gonna have a little fun. I'm gonna play some music. You're free to kind of you can turn off the camera if you want, and you can sing the song from the comfort of your house. You don't have to. Puede ser en español, en inglés, en francés, creol, cualquier lengua que quiera. Entonces, lo importante es sentirse en la comunidad, ¿verdad? Y todo sea bien chévere. Entonces, so right after this, in the next 30 minutes or so, 11 o'clock, stay tuned because we're gonna be singing. Yeah, I'm gonna be singing because I think singing is fun. I'm not a good. I can't sing at all, but I can dance. I dance bachata, merengue, a little bit of cumbia. I do a little cha-cha and salsa. I know the basic of salsa, so I used to dance when I was a little younger. Not as much now, but anyhow. So um, let's go back to the topic. So in day 7 basically is this it's all about domain 1, 2, and then 3. In domain 2 we talked about design and like arquitectura de sistemas. So it's a little bit complex though. I don't want to get into deep details in that, but the topic is basically is like certifies and identifying certain things within the system. So when I say system, I'm talking about like Windows, Linux, and other like systems up there that you probably used in the past. So And exam, the domain 2.2, is basically 21% of your grade level. So remember, it's you gotta have at least 750 points out of like 900 or 900 in order to pass. You got about 90 question. No, it's about, well, it can be up to 90 question, and they give you about like, no, 60 questions, and they give you 90 minutes for that. So I think it's doable. Um, I'm gonna be putting this information up in my channel if you want to follow me and um, Mr. Tech. If you go to YouTube, the bilingual pivot, you can find that information there. So I'm doing like a live stream where I'm kind of, live streaming in two different ways. So I'm live streaming here, but also I'm streaming in YouTube. So you can see. I'm gonna turn off the camera so you can see what I'm talking about here. Quick. Hey, thank you for like sharing the live stream. So here, so you can see me that this is my live stream. I'm using a software called Riverside. There is a version that you can, there's a free version, there is a paid version. So you can do a lot of different things with that. One thing that I'm planning on doing is doing a podcast, because this is actually designed to do podcasts, and then like repurposing this in little segments where you can kind of show um, your content in different platforms. Like you can show it in Instagram, TikTok. I don't know if you've seen a little bit like clips of my previous like live stream, and day one, two, and three, and four. So day five yesterday, I was a little late, so I didn't do as much. Actually, yesterday we went late to go to bed because we were just singing. We talked a little bit about a little bit of everything, but yeah, it was a little fun. Going back to day six, because I'm kind of going through these a little bit quickly here, so we can kind of get um, this part all really fast, and then we can move on. Um, what else we talked about in day six? Yep. So we were covering the PQI, certified and identified. This domain is all about designing, which make it 21% of your tax. So it's very important to kind of understand how that works. Something else that I talked about was the core study content. It's just focused on that. The concepts are certified authority, CRL, OCSP, which is Online Security Status Protocol. All this stuff that is like fancy words, it's all about securing the data, basically. That's what it is. Okay, it's kind of boring a little bit, es un poquito aburrido, pero es acerca en cuanto a cómo cuidar la información, porque la información es todo, okay. La información es muy importante. Entonces, yo tengo un PowerPoint aquí con 5 slides que le voy a mostrar. Déjeme buscarlo acá para compartirlo. Um, Aquí tengo mi PowerPoint. En un momento le voy a enseñar mi PowerPoint. A ver. Aquí está PowerPoint. This is not what I want to. What about this one? Yep. So I'm gonna bring the PowerPoint for day 7, because the thing that I'm talking to that was about yesterday lesson. So let me see if I can pull that up here. Oh, it's coming up. Yep, there you go. So this is all about. Let me just see if I can like share that. I'm gonna share it in my screen so you guys can see that. Share screen. Here we go. And then I'm gonna bring, that's the script for day 7. What is day 6? Day 6. Where's day 6, 7? 6, 7. All right, so window, let me just look. There you go, 7. Here we go. Found it. So this stuff that you see here, okay, and let me see if I can put this bigger so you guys can see. Can you guys see better there, hopefully? I'm not sure if you can see this whole thing, but so here, this whole thing that you can, well, let me put it bigger. Can you put it bigger? I don't know if you can put it bigger. I'm trying to play around with this to see if you guys can all see this. All right, the point is that here, I want it bigger though, so everyone can see better. Slideshow, there you go. I'm gonna show from the beginning, and there you have it. So, ooh, it's too big. So I'm just gonna maybe you can see it from here, but in my computer, because this, I don't know if you can be able to see it. It's too big, right? Yep, it's too big. So let's just like plug it over here. So in this section, it's all about like we talked in day from day 2 to 4. We talked about attacks, vulnerability. From days 5 and 6, which is the day before yesterday and yesterday, design. So implementation is day 7, which is today. We're right here. Okay. Um, so I'm gonna click here. Let's move on to the next page. Okay. Why is not working? Oh, it's I can actually touchscreen my computer's touchscreen. So networking security. So firewalls and IDS and IPS. Okay, so this is one of the most important topics when it comes to the test per se because it's weighting about 25%. Okay. Okay, Mr. Tech, Jay, why is this so important? Because if you're gonna go to the cybersecurity field or the um, information technology or system administrator, and you are in charge of like a group of computers, you need to know your equipment. You need to know how the network work and in order to secure that. Okay, very important stuff. So and how it's configured and what's VPN. All this stuff is really important. Okay, so packages filtering. That's have to deal with like IPs and protocólogos. También web application, eso es una para proteger como en contra de cualquier ataque, ¿verdad? Eso sirve para esto también. So remember yesterday when we talked about the day before yesterday we talked about if you see a USB port in the ground and then you pick them up and then you go to your computer and you plug it in, that's what we call an attack, like it's a SQL ion injection attack. So this is very important to understand how that works and how to prevent things that happen. Detect and block like malware and viruses and things like that too. So you gotta understand how that works. And that's pretty much what it is. This slide is about that protecting data, identifying like attacks. Okay, I'm gonna move on a little bit faster here. Tips for the exam here. So what to know? There are certain things that you're supposed to know. Um, for example, one thing like if you can't understand what an IDS means, which is detect slash alert, right? IP is equal to detect blocks and critical distinction. Okay, all this stuff is once again a lot of fancy words for like protect the data. Vamos a proteger la información porque es muy importante. Entonces, si usted puede memorizar esos acrónimos, va a ser muy fácil pasar el examen. ¿Ok? Es muy importante. Obviamente, usted puede tomar el examen en varios idiomas. Yo voy a elegir tomar el mío en inglés porque como estoy estudiando todo en inglés, pues se hace más fácil para mí aquellas cosas que estoy estudiando poder recordarlo en inglés. Pero si estuviese en su lugar y usted habla español y se siente cómodo, también puede tomarlo en español. Esos materiales también se encuentran en el internet en el idioma español también. Entonces hay formas de cómo tomar el examen en otros idiomas. ¿Ok? Entonces, bueno, um, casi hemos terminado. Solamente son algunos 5 slides. Este es el último donde dice lesson planning, access control and policies and things like that, crisis management, incident report. So if you want more information about that section, because I know that I went really fast, you can always go to the school.com/the bilingual pivot 8610, or you can go to my YouTube channel where I'm going to be uploading all this information right after. Well, I'm going to probably wait until tomorrow to do that because I'm actually recording everything here. So, and documenting area. The plan is documenting my path through this, so I can use this as an leverage in my project when and put it in my portfolio. So when people ask, well, So what you did, how you learned is, oh, I can talk about it and say, hey, I do have a website, I do have a YouTube channel where I kind of have all my information, where what I going and all the information that I had when I was studying and getting ready for the test. So you can use that as a leverage to tag to the companies are going to be doing interview to you, and interviewing you basically. So yeah, that's about it for that section there. Um, Pretty like not super like oh, this is kind of cool stuff, but it is important to understand how it works. Like I just said before, um, normally if you are really new to this, you're supposed to get exposed to like what networking is. I don't need to understand how you configure like the configuration of it to be able to basically maintain it, protect it, and all that fun stuff. Okay, very important stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna exit up from this. Let's see here. Just a second here, kind of like trying to find out here if you're gonna to go back to. So this basically this was day 7. Um, Now I want to show you something here. I want to talk to you about different jobs opportunity, and I'm gonna take you to the clearance website that I was looking for. Let me see if I can find it here. Okay, I got Natchez barking there. I gotta go and see what he's up to now. So this website over here is the security clearance job, and I wanted to talk just briefly about this because I think it's really important. Um, so this one right here, and bear with me, I'm gonna give you 10 minutes for the Q&A if you have any questions or concern or whatever. Um, so this is one of the websites that you can use in order to kind of go and get jobs in IT, information technology, specifically for the government jobs. GovTechs, is that what they call them? Uh, you can kind of sign up for that website, and you can have like notification coming to your email so that you can be able to yeah, what's up, ¿cómo estás? Ya, no te preocupes, estamos acá, estoy terminando ya acá mi lección y dentro de un rato pues, vamos a hablar un poco más de cosas más divertidas. Sí, gracias por venir, entonces estamos aquí, ya tú sabes. No, no, tú tranquila. Claro, claro, tranquila, acomódese, relájese, tome una botellita de agua, un vaso de agua. ah, si es necesario, coma algo. Estamos acá. No tengo planes de quitarme por un buen rato, entonces, listo pues. Muy bien, excelente. All right, mulata dominicana. Chévere. Muchas gracias por apoyar el live. So, so this one clearance job, there are a bunch of them online, but this one is one of the ones that I found out that is pretty useful. So all you have to do is just like you're gonna type your what are you looking for and the desired location. So you can go and put remote here, and then you can put the what are you looking for, right? And then obviously you gotta do a make a search. Just like go ahead. What I'm gonna do here is an entry level IT jobs. You can do that or obtain clearance. One of the two things, because you want to be able to obtain a clearance in order to get those tech job and be able to be contacted by contractors from the government. So you say entry level IT support, so just like that, and then you go ahead and search. And then, for example, here we got one assistant facility security officers. So that one is in New York, in the Heights. For example, senior Red Hat architecture. So this is more about cloud and technology. So that's for an IBM. So just like I was telling you before, there are so many opportunities with system administration, cybersecurity, and cloud. I'm not talking about the cloud AI. This is the cloud when you can save all your data and all that fun stuff. So This is another one here. Immediately, like if you want to go to the route of software developer, you can actually apply for that. This one is more like in our range of an entry-level job, IT compliance analyst. If I click to that one just for fun, they're gonna show you what things you need in order to be able to apply for that one. So you have to have at least 5 years of experience. That's not a good example, because entry-level jobs normally are going to ask you for 6 to 12 months of experience. But as you can see, they're going to tell you exactly what you need in order to get the job. But don't be discouraged if you see that they're asking you for like a bunch of time of experience or whatever might be the case. Oops, I just find out that I'm not sharing that in my YouTube channel. Hold on, guys, my people on YouTube. Just a second, I'm gonna share my screen here so you guys can see. And that way, there you go. Let me share that so you can see in the screen here. I actually was sharing that, but in the wrong screen here. I had like three different screens. I'm kind of going crazy here. Let me share that. I'm gonna look for that website window. Here we go. I gotta scroll down and see where is that window. Let me see. Go back. Okay, so security clearance. That's the one here. All right. I'm gonna open up that stuff here. So there you go. So this is what I was talking about. Mi gente en YouTube. So guys, like clearancejob.com is one of the sites. There are a lot of them. So for today, I'm just gonna briefly talk about this because I want to give you guys time to, digest this information because a lot. I've been talking a lot. So IT compliant analyst is one of those jobs that you have to have. And by the way, I'm gonna give you 10 minutes. If you have any questions and concern, whatever, we can talk about that. And after that, we're gonna switch to Spanish to do our karaoke night. So if you quieres cantar en español, en inglés y poder hablar de algunos temas. Bueno, el tema en esta noche va a ser acerca de cuál es el propósito de la vida. Entonces, si usted tiene, qué sé yo, quiere tener la oportunidad de participar, puede poner su cámara y hablar un poquito qué piensa usted de esa pregunta. Hay otras preguntas que van después de esta, de acuerdo con cómo conteste cada persona. Hice como un cuestionario de unas 5 preguntas para poder tener una conversación amena. Pues vamos a hablar de eso, cantar unas cuantas canciones, después volvemos a las preguntas y va a ser una dinámica así, orgánica. Obviamente vamos a cantar unas cuantas canciones, después hablamos un poquito, tomamos un break y así sucesivamente. Entonces, pero bueno, vamos a finalizar esta parte acá. So let's just finish this one here. 2 more minutes and then we're going to switch to any question that you might have. So IT compliance analyst. So this one is one of those jobs that, like I said before, you do have to have certain experience for that. They don't disclose the salary because you have to have clearance for this one. Okay. Now, if I go back, let's go and look for other jobs. Now, this one, remember, this is an entry-level support IT. You can actually put your email over here when you are looking for this website, and they're gonna give you the opportunity to have like notifications coming to your email every week when they have like jobs availability. But there are a ton of them, man. I can't believe that system administration. This is the one. Once again, remember there are 3 group of like a bunch of jobs within those 3 areas. We get system administration. All right, this is more like being mindful of like dealing with like networking and all the fun stuff, overseeing a bunch of computers and their network. And the other layer in that, well, no layers, the other group will be cybersecurity, cyber analyst, IT support technician, all the fun stuff. And then we got the cloud, okay? How to kind of navigate through it, how to make it secure, and all that fun stuff. And lastly here, we got Linux system administration. If you are good at like learning different systems like Windows, Linux, Ubuntu, and all that fun stuff, there's another one here. So there's a ton of opportunities, a ton like information, the same thing. So there are jobs up there. There are a bunch of them. You just have to be prepared. Like that's why it's so important to prepare with this certification because you can work for the government and you can have plenty of benefits. I was just following this guy. It's actually one of my mentors that I follow on YouTube called, gosh, I forget her name. Belly, is the last name. She got a school community that I follow too as well, and I'm going to like taking her classes. Um, she was like saying that she saved about $132,000 in taxes because she was working overseas. I think that was in Japan or something like that. And the government gave her an extension of an exception for like no paying taxes, and all that money basically she didn't have to pay any taxes for that. Just that was mind blowing. Just for working for the government sector. Okay, so and a lot of people are saying, well, AI is gonna take my job, blah blah blah. That's those lines. It's because the government just invested like billions of dollars right now for like technology. It was in the news like the other day. So if you're not following the news, that technology is not going to go anywhere. So you're always going to have the government and other contractors, private contractors are going to need people who can take care of the information, maintain their networks, and think this is just like plumbers, electricians, and journeymen. So all of those people are going to be needed too, like just the same as them, like, the people that are working with technology. So that's why I think this field is so beautiful. And if you put your mind to it, you don't have to necessarily be a scientist or be a genius because heck, like I'm a high school teacher, so am well, obviously there's a lot of skills that are transferable when it comes to education to technology. So if you know how to learn and how to teach stuff, obviously you're gonna excel in that area because you can explain complex concept in a very simple way. And that's what I love teaching so much. By the way, I do have my channel, the Spanish Master, that I still hold until today, where I kind of teach Spanish to my high schoolers and ESL too as well. Mi gente de México, de Honduras, de Nicaragua y también mi gente de África, República del Congo. So if you want to get to know more Spanish and stuff, you can go ahead and visit that channel too as well. That's another story for another day. All right, enough of that. Oh man, I only have 5 minutes for questions. So because I promised to do the karaoke thing 11 o'clock. So that's it for today. If you don't have any questions, I'm gonna. Well, tomorrow we can talk about more about other sites and like how much you can make as far as like having the opportunity to connect. You can go online. It's easy. You just go online and just type like for example system. I'm gonna do it for you just really quick. System administration. 16, yeah, administration, job and tax. Remote. You can put remote. Look at that. So if you do remote, you can see. Look at that. Windows system administration. Blah blah blah. Remote. So you click that. It tells you this is actually nd.com. I went to Google and just Google it quick. But those are not government jobs. This is different. This is more like different contractors. It can be from John Deere. Um, you know, this one you have a millimilli top secret, so you have to have the clearance in order to get those jobs. So another way to get your clearance is by obtaining that through a private contractor, specifically from the government, and they give you the access. You have to have this. You do have to have the security plus. If you don't have that, they're not gonna even look at your resume. Okay, that's why it's so important. All right, so I'll talk more about that tomorrow. But yeah, that's it for mi gente de YouTube. So I'll see you back tomorrow. I'm gonna log out from here. We got about 30 minutes of content here. I'm gonna repurpose that in school.com, the bilingual pivot slash 1086. Just go ahead and you can review that. Mi gente de TikTok, what I'm gonna do, if you guys can go to YouTube if you want to review that, because for those who didn't have the chance to kind of see the whole thing, there's a mix of English and Spanish there, so you can go ahead. Hopefully, you can understand that. If you have any questions, please let me know later. Okay. Once again, thank you for tuning in. For those who are on YouTube, Mr. Tech is gonna be back tomorrow, same time around 9 o'clock. between 9 and 10. So it's a hit or miss. It can be 9:30, can be 10 o'clock, but I'll be here. That's gonna be my timing. And yeah, well, remember who you are. You are the child of God. You're good enough. And remember, life is beautiful. I'll see you in the next one.